President Donald Trump's economic policies have delivered some pretty strong headlines: strong growth, belt tightening elsewhere. Now, Trump has highlighted his administration's economic gains in the State of the Union address. Listen in.
When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
Trump further said that he had secured about $18 trillion in terms of investments, while the official announcements total closer to $9.7 trillion, and this includes broad pledges. The president also said that he had inherited record inflation and delivered the largest tax cuts in American history. Now, data shows that inflation was about 3% when he took charge in the office, and the tax package ranks outside of the largest historically by the share of GDP. The claims that Social Security taxes were eliminated are completely misleading, as the policy introduced a temporary deduction rather than a full repeal. Now, Trump has also suggested that cutting fraud could quickly balance the federal budget, claims that analysts say are exaggerated or not supported by evidence. Now, over a year into his second term, the U.S. economy has seen some pretty robust GDP growth, fueled by tax cuts and record investments in technology sectors like AI, putting a spotlight on Trump's push for growth. The consumer spending has also been pretty strong, supporting broader demand, but not all of the president's economic policies have translated into broader job gains. While manufacturing output has climbed, factory employment has fallen, dimming hopes of a promised manufacturing revival. The broader job growth has also slowed, partly linked to the tighter immigration policies that have affected labor supply. Another central plank, trade and tariffs, has delivered only partial results. The Trump aimed to reduce reliance on imports and to boost domestic industry, but his signature global tariffs were struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court, forcing a shift to a new 15% tariff plan just to maintain revenue. The trade deficit has not meaningfully shrunk. Meanwhile, Trump has also declared victory over inflation.
The administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
Now, inflation, though lower than in the post-pandemic surge, still remains stubbornly high, adding pressure on everyday Americans. Housing affordability and high borrowing costs continue to dampen the middle class's optimism. This has, of course, kept some voters uneasy despite the headline growth figures. The leaders of various states have also come out to fact-check the president.
Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs. Small businesses have suffered, farmers have suffered, some losing entire markets. Everyday Americans are paying the price.
On the positive side, investments in AI and new technologies have drawn some fresh capital into the U.S. economy, with corporate investment and innovation seen as the flagship of Trump's America First growth strategy. And still, the critics have argued that the gains are concentrated in capital markets and tech hubs and are not evenly spread out.